try to fuck with DJ Flip, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Dead homies.
He was with him yesterday. You think it was with DJ Flip yesterday? Deuceface was there too?
Yeah, Deuceface was there, yeah.
Going back to being in prison, did you happen to see or like be in the same building as like Northerners?
Yeah. Play sports with them, everything. Basketball, handball, everything. Everything, bro.
How's the relationship with the Northerners and the Southerners?
There's no beef, bro. It's all neutral, bro.
Shit,
you know, respect is respect, though. You know.
I don't know. These niggas out here be like,
and like, I'll speak on that too. You know, like, motherfuckers are popping it about, oh boy, messing with Norteños is like, then it's business, bro. You don't need gangbang, none of that. You know. I seen their videos and them niggas ain't even gang members, bro. Y'all niggas residents, bro. Like, are you a Sureno? No, you're not, bro. Stop saying you are, because you're not. Niggas know what I'm talking about.
Oh, because that DJ Flip shit, huh?
They don't, but they know what I'm talking about, bro. You know, it's not nothing to talk shit about, but niggas shouldn't be doing that. And then they want to represent the Sur. You gotta earn that, bro. You know? Motherfuckers earn stripes in prison. You know, it's not.
Than a Southsider and a Sureno.
Yeah, it is. Big difference.
What is the difference between a Southsider and a Sureno?
That's LA County shit.
Like, just like the streets. You put in work, bro.
Yeah, put in you. Yeah,
just like the street.
Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it. You already know. Like a torta with some snack habits. Bye up. Bye up. Let's get to that intro. Welcome back to the channel, and if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate the support, man. I'm very humbled by it. Hey, I couldn't have said it better myself. Sur gang, shout out to that Sureno right there from 54th, right there, Florencia. Now that's real one. That's real game. He didn't give up game, but he gave you game, right? And I've been saying for years, and I get ridiculed, I get hated on, I get berated, I get everything bad, every noun, every verb, every adjective. I've been called everything up under the sun, right? Because of my views on the respect between North and South. Man, I get Norteños that say, man, fuck them vatos gun. Why are you fucking supporting that? I get Southsiders, stay out of Southsider business, right? I get all kinds of hatred, all kinds of disrespect. But at the end of the day, I'm right. I'm right, man, and I think a lot of these guys are not gamed up enough or educated to understand that respect crosses the threshold, Holmes. There's no line drawn in the sand that respect doesn't overthrow, and that's just how that goes. Now, when the Norteños went down to L.A., people made a big old fucking scene, a big old deal out of it. It wasn't no big deal. It was a few Norteños going to a podcast that I don't approve of, right? But that's my own personal thing with that podcast. But they pulled up. They did their willings, their dealings, their business, and quietly as is kept, their professionalism was on display while in LA. And then, of course, the Vato Big Fats BFD did a music video with one DJ Flip, and everybody flipped out, especially Blanco 15. That dude, I don't know what. Hey, hi, my name is Blanco 15. Palm Springs, bro. Are you kidding me? And then you have Little Grifo, a San Diego rapper who could rap his ass off, right? Who just recently got out of prison, and a little birdie told me, this is no hearsay, this is facts. Someone who's close to him that really knows him told me, I asked him, hey, what's wrong with that Vato? He was never like that. Isn't he signed to GT Digital Distribution? Doesn't he work with Northerner? You know, the Northerners, he works with them, right? I mean, everyone knows that. And all you got to do is look at his CDs. It says distributed by GT Digital, which is Gold Toes and them other cats, right? So what's he tripping on? Well, ever since he went to prison, got a little political, maybe a little educated, and got out, that Vato fucking turned into bozo, right? That Vato got out angry and mad at Norteños. And the little birdie told me, man, bro, I think he's smoking that titi. I don't know. That's just what they told me, right? Now, whether he is or he isn't, we definitely see what that does to people. It clouds their judgment, their brain, their mind, and puts them in a different mindset. It did Lefty. Now, look, Lefty's out the Puff the Magic Dragon, and they're about to winning Grammys, right? So they not like us. They not like us. You better get back to the program, Little Grifo, because the hatred for the Northern movement, especially after you just got out of doing time with them on the same yard with them, playing handball with them. Why do you want to get out in the streets and indulge in that type of behavior of disrespect? Look, I understand about standing your ground in your homeland and representing where you're from and saying, hey, man, Vatos ain't going to come disrespect where I'm from. But Ese, you're from San Diego. You ain't even from L.A. The Northerners haven't even got there yet. You're all right? Anyways, you heard what that Vato from Florencia said. A real Sureno, right? When asked about the whole situation, when asked about what he thought about Norteños, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Every opinion is not going to be the same. I understand that, right? And just because he agrees with my same opinion, I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, I told you so. But guess what? I told you so. A lot of dudes who have done time, real righteous individuals that did time on 180s, 4 yards, have an understanding that respect is more than anything, right? And especially in this day and age, nowadays between North and South, behind them walls, and I understand it's different on the streets, but behind them walls, there's a respect level treated, shared amongst the fucking two groups that is even more so than when I was locked up. Because when I was locked up in prison, it was a respect thing as well. That's never changed. When I was in Fred C. Nellis, CYA, and every Southerner there, not every Southerner, but the majority of them wanted to get on my motherfucking head, right? They wanted to come at me, especially in the school areas, the chow halls, any open area where they can get at me, right? Get at me, dog, on some DMX shit. They were trying to get at me. But guess what? There was always a respect there. No one ever stomped anyone out when they were on the ground. A couple times, but nothing really major, right? There was always some element or form or fashion of respect in a menudo style, in a direct fashion, old school shit. This Southerner told you the truth, especially when he's talking about guys running around that are either residents or just Southsiders trying to say that they're Sureños. Tommy Guns, listen up, right? Sur gang, you could tell by the writing on the wall. Yeah, I could also tell that you've only been to county jail a couple times. You are not him. You are not a Sureno, right? There's a big difference. You know, and me being from Northern California, I know that shit, right? It's kind of like Northerners and Norteños. They are not the same. There's a difference. There's, you know, like Davato said, you got to put in work. You got to embrace the idealisms of what your cause means and be willing to defend your household and put in work for your beliefs. And only then, and if your mind is right, if you're educated, it's not just someone who's fucking stupid enough to go stab everyone on the yard, but you got to educate yourself into your culture. You got to educate yourself into the true meaning and definition of why you're doing what you're doing. What's behind the goals that you set forth or that your group has set forth for the common cause of your people, right? There's a lot of things that you have to embrace, grasp, and understand before you can be wearing that title of Sureno or Norteño. And that's fucking facts. How do I know? Because there's phases and elements of things that you have to go through to achieve that. Now, I'm not here to tell you what exactly it is, but I'm telling you it is, right? And that's facts. So when that Vato was like, I don't even know why this guy's running around, he's not even a Sureno. There's people that have shed blood, spilt their own blood, have put themselves in that position, have put in the work to wear that title, man. You know, they represent and they feel some type of way about stolen valor. Now, I'm not comparing it to the army, man. I'm just saying when I say stolen valor, I mean, it's typically the same shit. Someone who's claiming something that they're not, right? And so him saying these Vatos ain't even Sureños, they're just look, no disrespect to the Southsiders, because there's some real ones that tear motherfucker's head from his shoulders. And I ain't talking about shampoo, right? No caspa. But real ones that will really do you dirty. But at the same time, in order to wear that title, there's other things you must go through. Same thing goes for the Norteño movement. Those that know. That's why Vatos like BFD and everyone gets out that claim or proclaim allegedly to be of the Norteño movement, to be an ENSO or things like that, man. Wear that shit with pride, because that not only does that put them in some type of leadership role, that also lets everyone know that they've been through that struggle, right? And it's just like anything, a work achievement, a job. You know, once you start to move up that ladder and you go from just working in the shop to the foreman, you want everyone to know you're the fucking foreman. Put that shit, blast that shit as big as you can on the uniform. So I want them all to know, because not only do you want them to know that you have a position of power and you're extremely confident and proud of your achievements, but you also want them to know that you worked hard for that shit. And not everyone's willing to put in that type of work. Now, Davato says some real righteous shit when talking about Norteños, and I've been tripping on it ever since fucking BFD and then Vatos pulled up to LA. You know, I understand the disrespect. I understand. I just seen You know, the No Paperwork podcast. I think it was yesterday. Someone sent me a clip where Don Chingalini was, or was it Don Changalini? Chingalini? Hey, the Chingo Chango, right? Don Changalini was on there, and he was expressing some of the same views and characteristics of education that I had, right? Which was about the word buster and about disrespect towards the enemigos, right? The opposition, the other side, the thangs, or whatever you want to call them. You know, there was no need for all that. And, you know, BFD went on to call himself a buster and proclaim that's his stance. Now I get it. I got 114% buster tattooed on my head. So there was a thing going around where we felt Norteños could not be disrespected. There was no way to disrespect us, and calling us busters, sod busters, or whatever wasn't a form or fashion of disrespect, but it wasn't the word, just like it's never the word. It's the intentions behind it. Vatos are trying to disrespect you. So that's what it comes down to. It's kind of like the N-word with brothers, man. They don't feel disrespected calling each other the N-word. But if a white dude or a Mexican or everyone else does it right, it's the intent behind it and how you say it. If you say it with the A or the ER, see what I'm saying? It's the intent. So it's kind of the same way with bust, right? But whatever. I know Don Changalini went on to say, you know, it's a different era. Back in our era, the same era, I come from that era, you know, it was taken as disrespect. And so a lot of us decided, first and foremost, man, to not just walk around calling ourselves that, even though we did get the tattoos with that description. That's facts. That's truth, right? And I see where BFD's coming from, saying basically, you know what I'm saying, this is what I am, a Norteño. I'm gonna hold it down no matter what. They are that. I am him, and that's it. And that's it, right? But at the end of the day, I like something that Valto said. He said, man, if you guys want to go viral for something positive, not negativity. I agree, right? But in this day and age, positivity doesn't sell, man. Only bullshit. And that's just facts, right? Anyways, the Southsider from Florencia, man, he spoke some real shit, saying that North and South, man, he said, man, Norteños are cool. Respect. We were on the yard together. We were fucking doing our thing. And it's the truth. Ever since the end of hostilities, there has not been no riots, no melees, no none of that. Everything is handled in-house between your own people. And it's just, you know, a situation now where you don't overstep what you don't overstep. You know, now I understand that doesn't flow to the streets. That peace treaty, that agreement between the organizations doesn't flow to the streets. And the only reason it doesn't is because they haven't said so yet. But I'm going to tell you, man, for North and South to steadily still be tripping off of, hey, you came to LA, or oh, you came to Salas, or oh, you came to Frisco, or oh, you came to Merced, or oh, you know what I mean? It's getting old. It's getting to a point where like people are like, damn, bro, when are you guys going to stop and just get money? When are you going to conduct yourselves with professionalism, respect, and get to the business? It's all business. Now, I know Grifo, Blanco, and whoever else, Bozo, man, decided, Zod, that they were going to feel some type of way about Norteños going to LA. Grifo's not from LA. Blanco's not from LA. Zod is not from LA, right? So Bozo, is Bozo from LA? I don't know, right? But I know this. These guys feeling some type of way about Norteños pulling up down south. I get how they're feeling. Hey, these vatos put up that disrespected us before, right? I understand, man. I understand. You don't want them there. But there's only one way to figure that out. You can't pump up the rest of the social media, the internet, and all the little Southsiders, man, to go handle your business. You got to step up, get out and get something. You got to go do your own thing, if that's how you truly feel. But it's for me, now, Blanco, let's put him to the side. He ain't did time at all, right? He might have been in juvenile hall fucking thumb wrestling with someone. You know what I'm saying? He want wrestle, right? He might have been done that. And no disrespect, but I just his boots are just soaking, right? They're soaking wet, and he still ain't 120. That Vato needs to sit over there. But Vatos like Zod, Bozo, Grifo, who've actually done prison time, especially Vatos like Zod, right? Who've done real time. You know what I'm saying? I know Bozo was in the 2-yard or whatever, and I know and he done time. That's time. And I don't know exactly where Grifo was housed, but I do know that Zod knows, you know, being on them 4 yards and things, exactly what it is. But you got to understand, Zod predates that shit, man. He takes it back to when North and South was cutthroat against each other. So he has a reason to be upset. I'm sure he's got into plenty of melees, plenty of situations with Northerners, and he's going to stand strong for where he's from, Southern California. You know, saying, hey, it is what it is. Respects. At the same time, you heard what that Sureno from Florencia said. It's not like that no more, man. There's no beef. So why are people tripping on like people like DJ Flip for just doing business? He's not even, he might associate, he might do videos for, you know, Southsiders, whoever he does it for, but just because he does a video with Northerners. Now you don't fuck with him. Well, guess what? There's a podcaster named fucking what's his fucking name? They fuck his old lady all the time. Adam, right? There's a podcaster named Adam from No Jumper who does business with Norteños. He does business with dropouts. He does business with Bulldogs. He does business with Southsiders, with Crips, with Bloods, with white supremacists. He does business with everyone. Homosexuals, just a little bit of everybody. He loved the last one, right? He just does business with everyone, and people still fuck with him. Ain't no one hollering his name, but they're hollering DJ Flip. That sounds more like a personal issue, bro. Not a North and South issue. You know, that Southsider saying what he said, man, I agree 100% because ever since I got on YouTube, I've been saying it. It's all about respect, man. Everyone thinks North and South are at each other's throats all the time. Yeah, maybe in Northern California because Norteños feel like their homeland is invaded. But, hey, here's some fucking breaking news for you guys. I don't know if you heard this. You're going to hear it right here. Vatos been there, eh? They've been there. They might not have been out at night back in the days, but they are now, right? This Southsider right here, this Sureno from Florencia, I tip my hat to him because he keeps it real. You know, he's not sugarcoating nothing. He's telling the fucking truth. Let's play him one more time. I want you guys to hear and just dissect exactly what he's saying. Trip out.
Try to fuck with DJ Flip, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Dead
He was
homies.
with him yesterday. You think it was with DJ Flip
No.
yesterday? Blueface was there too?
Yeah, Deuce was there, yeah?
Going back to being in prison, did you happen to see or like be in the same building as like Northerners?
Yeah. Play sports with them, everything. Basketball, handball, everything. Everything, bro.
How's the relationship with the Northerners and the Southerners?
There's no beef, bro. It's all neutral, bro.
Shit,
you know,
well,
respect is respect, though. You know,
I don't know. These niggas out here be like,
and
beefing it.
like I speak on that too. You know, like motherfuckers are popping it about oh boy messing with Norteños is like then they it's business, bro. You don't even gang bang, none of that. You know, I seen their videos and. Them niggas ain't even gang members, bro. Y'all niggas residents, bro. Like, are you a Sureno? No, you're not, bro. Stop saying you are, because you're not. Niggas know what I'm talking about.
Oh, because that DJ Flip shit, huh?
They know what I'm talking about, bro.
Look, what did he say? They know exactly who he's talking about. He's talking about Grifo. He's talking about Blanco 15 and anyone else that ain't what he says is, right? Now, you heard them. They play handball. They're playing baseball. They're playing sports together, man. They're getting along. It's all respect. It's neutral. No one's tripping on each other. I understand that does not extend to the streets. But why create a beef or even talk about it if your ass is just, hey, here's the cold kicker, right? Just trip out. Just work with me for a minute here. Just work with me, I think, right? Imagine you hate Norteños or Norteños hate Southsiders so bad that you're like, fuck that, eh? This Vato came to my town. He made a music video. It's on site. I got to get him. That's disrespect coming to my town, right? Even though it's not your town, but fuck you. You're from Turlock and the Vatos from Modesto. They went to Modesto. You're feeling some type of way just based on your same area code, right? And you put in work or a Southsider puts in work. Take, for instance, Grifo, right? Puts in work. I'm mad they went to LA and DJ Flip did a video with them, even though I'm from San Diego. And I did a video with DJ Flip, right? So he's upset and he puts in work. They put in work. And guess where they go? Guess where? To a yard with the enemies and play handball. Baseball, neutral. And now you're sitting around functioning. You can't get off. You can't get off because you get off, your own people are going to whack you. Because that's the rules, homie. So really it makes no type of sense, right? And I'm not going to give an excuse for Northern California, say them with the upstaters. That's a whole different thing, man. Once the upstaters and the Norteños get with that program on the streets, it's going to be love. It's going to be different if that program ever got to, right? And that's just the facts. But what I'm saying here is, man, think about that for a minute here. You're going to put in work on someone that you don't know because they went to a town you're not from. And then guess what? You're going to get locked up and go kick it with his homeboys. You know what I mean? It really makes no sense. Anyways, man, that Vato got a good head on his shoulders. He spoke truth. And as far as, you know, the politics of what is and what isn't a Sureno or Norteño or any of that, man, that's prison shit. That's to be left behind there. And if you earn it, you earn it. If you don't, you don't. If you know, you know. And if you don't, I ain't going to tell you, right? And that's just how that goes. But everything I've been saying for years, man, and why I get a lot of hatred is facts. You just heard it right there. Someone who just got out, been locked up, been around the block. You know, I got a lot of respect for Florencia. I'm going to explain to you why. Man, rest in peace, crazy boy from Florence. When I was in Fred Sinellis, I did a lot of intermingling, a lot of business deals, and a lot of conversations that were had in homes with Southsiders and Sureños from Florencia, 18 Playboys, any fucking group or gang you could think about when I was incarcerated because there was someone there representing every barrio. And that vato crazy boy laced me up, man. And he told me one day I seen him. He had a big old F-13 on his cheek. I was like, oh, this fool's a fucking going to be an issue. He's going to be a problem. And he came up to me and said, you a Norteño? And I said, I'm trying, right? Like, fuck, bro, I guess. I don't even know if I am, but I'm trying to be. And he said, look, my beef ain't with you, homie. I'm about to get off on my enemigo right now, man. So just all you got to do is move to the side, bro. And I'll let you know right now. I'm not even tripping off you vatos like that. You guys have it bad. Almost all the rest of these vatos are on you, but I'm not personally because you ain't did nothing. But that vato right there killed my homeboy. So now it's time for me to do my thing. And he got off where he was mad at with the pico de guy. I seen it. He was doing his thing. There's no joke. After that, we would converse all the time. It was always respect. He was doing like this dude was doing, man, way back in the day. So I always, from that moment on, had a little bit more respect from Florencia than a lot of other dudes just because every dude I ran into from Florence were more worried about their enemigos than Norteños. That's just me. Anyways, with that being said, let me know what you guys think, man. Do people need to cool their jets and let it go already? Okay, some Northerners went to fucking LA. They did a music video. Let's go. Now, as far as BFD going back and disrespecting and saying what it is, it's just the way the vato feels, man. You know what I mean? I'm going to say the same thing about like Tommy Guns and all these other guys that they disrespect. It's just the way they feel. You can't stop them, man. There's only one way to stop them, you know, and I don't know if anyone's willing to do that and go do some time and kick it with the dudes because they stopped one, but not the other. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly and honestly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. This video is sponsored by Barrio Liquors out there in Turlock, California. If you're ever in Turlock, go slide through to the Barrio, man, and get you something cold to drink. Tell Lali I said what's up at the Barrio. Also, by Sticks and Stones Yard Service out there in Tucson, Arizona, man. I need you to slide over to the phone, the directory, pick it up, look up Sticks and Stones Yard Service, and bring him to your motherfucking theater near you so that way he can do his thing, man. Let's look out and support all local raza businesses. This is the gun. Bang, bang. You already know.